Let's talk about how the president's actions in the Middle East might influence next month's election, if at all. Syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer is with us again tonight from Washington. Charles, what about that? How does this action by President Obama, not only in Iraq, but stepping up bombings in Libya, a more aggressive international foreign policy, affect this election?
To the extent that it breaks through into the campaign, and I'm not sure there's very much from the outside world that can break through right now. But to the extent it does, it helps to give some shielding to Clinton in defending what is generally a failed foreign policy. The fact that we are moving on Mosul is not going to have an immediate effect. Its effect will depend on the outcome and on the casualties. Thus far, there are no American casualties, but you can have them way back from the battle lines. Remember, in the Gulf War in the early 1990s, the biggest loss of American life was way back in Saudi Arabia, where a rocket hit. So we should expect casualties, and that will make it very difficult for the administration. And secondly, because it will take at least weeks to be successful, and even then, there's going to be a lot of casualties among civilians as well. So I think it's a mixed legacy right now. The beginning of a campaign always looks better, but then you have the other stories of what's happening off Yemen, what's happening in Libya, and of course the catastrophe in Aleppo, where the city is being destroyed.
Yeah. Libya obviously is a point of vulnerability, one would think, for Secretary Clinton.
Because that is what used to be called a war of choice, and we decided to do it to get rid of Gaddafi. And we didn't do anything in the aftermath to secure Libya. Now, the good news is that the bad guys, the ISIS elements in the city of Sirte, are on the defensive and surrounded and could be defeated. The bad news is that spread throughout Libya are elements of ISIS, and they will be a constant irritant and a constant problem, because the probability of a stable central government reestablishing itself is vanishingly small.
Yeah, I just want to get your thoughts, turning back to the top of the show and some of these reports that are coming out. Not only this Project Veritas video, the FBI documents, the WikiLeaks. Is that breaking through to somehow affect the election, especially with independents?
Well, the first thing it does is it breaks the flow of bad news coming out of the Trump side. Anything that distracts from the current scandals and from his hyperbole, which is being roundly denounced even among Republicans about a fixed election, anything that distracts from that is good news. But secondly, the video you showed actually gives some substance, some backup to the charge about a rigged election. Now, I don't think it in any way implies that the outcome of a presidential election is going to be affected by some cheating here and there. But nonetheless, I think it does help to put something of substance behind the Trump charge.
Charles, as always, thank you.